Good morning, my name is Chris Fox, and today we are talking about the creative gap. It's been some time since I've done a motivational video, and I think this one is important, and it's something that I think is not stated often enough, especially to new writers. And it's something that was, I think, first addressed by Ira Glass, and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically what he said is that anybody who gets into this line of work, who decides to be a creative, be it an artist or a musician or a writer or any other creative pursuit, we get into that because we have good taste. You know, you see movies and you recognize movies that are good, you read books that are good, or read books that are bad, and you sort of see that that's the case. You have this ability to detect that. And then you sit down and you try to do that, but there's this gap, this creative gap between what you were able to produce and what you see in your head. So when you sit down, you see yourself churning out this wonderful story and this great prose with these amazing characters. You know, and then somehow when you sit down, the characters are wooden and lifeless, the dialogue is bad, and these scenes that seemed so amazing in your head just aren't. They don't feel good, they don't flow right, they don't read right, and they're not as amazing on the page as you want them to be. And it's this creative gap that a lot of creatives give up because of. We are in this rut where we don't quite have the ability that we want to have to write. And so we stop because we figure, you know what, I'm never going to be able to get there. There's such a vast gulf between, you know, where I want to be and where I'm at now. And writers get discouraged. And I think a lot of that stems from the fact that nobody tells us it's okay to suck. You know, you've heard that in a couple of other motivational videos from me. The Everybody Starts at Zero one deals with this in depth. We all do start at the beginning of our creative careers. And so if there is a huge gap between where you want to be and where you are, that's expected. You know, I've been doing this for years now. I've been publishing professionally for about 5 years. And in that time, I've gotten better. But there's still a massive creative gap between where I want to be and where I'm at. I want to publish a fantasy epic that will endure and outlast me, something amazing that people will want to read in generations, but I'm not there. There is a huge gap between where I need to be to write that and where I am. And the only way for me to get there is to keep plugging away and keep learning every day and keep studying the areas where I am weak and to continue writing the best stories that I possibly can to completion, to keep publishing and keep studying. And so this is kind of the mantra that I would ask that maybe you consider as well. So stop worrying in the short term about how good of a writer we actually are and start focusing on narrowing that creative gap. You know you're not where you want to be, but if tomorrow you're a little bit further along and you've learned something new that you didn't know the day before, you are a better writer. And if you keep doing that, in a year you will be a much better writer. You know, that's been my direct experience, and I feel like the longer we do this, the better we get. So there you have it, folks. The creative gap is a huge, huge problem for creatives in general. It's something that all of us face, especially in the beginning, the sense of inadequacy because we're not good enough, and we know it. If you're in that phase of your career, and know that it's expected, and just do everything you can to resolve to get better. So, guys, I don't know how useful these motivation videos are in comparison to the other videos on the channel, but sometimes I'm just kind of inspired to do them, and so that's what's happening today. Those of you tuning in looking for the mailing list video, that is absolutely continuing. I will have another one of those up next week. But I kind of just wanted to address this because I was just talking to an author in an email who's completely discouraged and had sort of given up and was thinking maybe they'd never be able to do this. And if any of you feel that way, no, you can definitely do this. It's just going to take some time and some effort and some study. So, you know, if you need to take a break, do so, but then come back at it because you can be the author that you want to be. All right, guys, thank you so much. I need to get back to the writing. I have just finished up War Mage. That's going out to beta readers tomorrow. So as you view this, they will be getting their hot little hands on the 4th book in my Magitech Chronicles series. All right, guys, I will see you next week.